Hello homeowners, home buyers, and realtors. My name is Forrest Ivy. I'm the Smart Inspector. I'm a home inspector here in Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. I'm going to show you some really simple tricks today to prepare your house for the home inspector's visit. These are very simple things to do. They cost you next to nothing. We'll tally it up at the end, as a matter of fact. And then really, if you're not even selling your home, we can just do these items as regular maintenance for your home in general. It's a good upkeep, but it'll save you a couple of those boxes getting notched off when the home inspector comes over. Anything to help get your top dollar for your home. So check this out. First thing we're doing is getting on the roof. If you don't feel comfortable on the roof, then send your kids up there. No, send your neighbor's kids. All right, first things first, we're gonna clean out these gutters. The home inspector's gonna pop up here, is gonna see something growing out of that one. And yeah, that's not gonna be bueno. So we're gonna have to get all this stuff out of here. Look, here's something growing in this one too. Oh my goodness. All right, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna trim some of these branches. See what we're looking at here? These branches, they contact the roof. Home inspector's gonna write that up. That's not good. That creates a bridge for insects and other wildlife to get onto your roof. And that's no bueno either. So we're gonna get rid of these. Very simple to do. Still at $0 so far. So, can't beat that. Just doing some good old-fashioned chopping. I'll give you a couple of tips on what home inspectors are looking for up here. On our report, we have 4 options. There's inspected, not present, and deficient. Now obviously a home inspector is going to inspect your roof, and your house better have one, so they're not checking not present. So with that being said, there's all sorts of things that lead toward checking that deficient box. Some of them are really simple. For instance, you have fish mouthing, you have nail pops, you have unsealed nail heads. All really simple stuff to fix, but that keeps you from having the deficient box checked. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This house's roof is fairly new, but we have this nail here has come popped up. Now that essentially, that's a potential inlet for water. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna hammer that sucker right back down, give it a couple taps, and done. When these nails pop up, it can cause what's called fish mouthing. That's when a nail's gonna pop up underneath another shingle. So if a nail's back here, popping this one up, it can cause this shingle to fold up like that. They call that fish mouthing. It makes like a shape of a little fish mouth. Anyway, same difference. You just tap that little nail head down. Voila. Still at $0, I believe. I'm trying to find an instance of unsealed nail heads. Just can't find one. This roof is under a year old, but I can tell you what a sealed nail looks like. We looked at one just a second ago. Back to this guy, we have one of these that's popped up. We have 3 that aren't, but all 4 of them are sealed. This is just some silicone plopped down on top of these nail heads. And if those are not sealed, then rain, of course, will cause them to rust. You don't want them to rust, and you don't want water to go down around that nail and into your home. No, sir. One unsealed nail head, and an inspector is gonna write you up for a deficient roof because of that one little thing. So now we're into the cost zone. A thing of silicone. How much is a tube of silicone? I don't know, $3, $4? That's not that much. Still, so far so good on the price. Okay, roof flashings. Home inspector's gonna check out your flashings. The flashings are what keep water from coming in around the different roof penetrations. So here we have a bathroom vent, and as you can see, this flashing is new, and the nail heads are all been sealed, which is perfect. That's what we're looking for. Now, of course, if this flashing was bent up or one of those nail heads wasn't sealed, deficient. The vent stacks have flashing around them, separating them from the rest of the roof, and in between the flashing and the vent stack itself is a little rubber boot. Let me show you one. This is what I'm talking about. This right here, this rubber boot that surrounds this whole thing, it's just a piece of rubber, okay? These get worn out in the heat pretty quickly. Now, this one is pretty new, so we don't have a problem here. But should this get worn out and cracked, well, that allows water to rain down into your home. it's an opportunity for water intrusion. Name of the game is to minimize water intrusion. So, home inspector would write that up too. Very simple to replace. One of those boots is, again, $4 or $5. Now we're still under 10 bucks for all these repairs so far. I'm getting attacked by a bird. This is crazy. Here he comes. The wonders of being a home inspector. Oh, the joy. Being dive bombed. Is he coming back? Okay, I gotta wrap this up before this bird knocks me off this roof. Okay, so lastly, there's one more item you can do to help keep your roof from being written up as deficient. This one's a little bit more in-depth, but let me show you what I'm talking about. If you have a chimney that is over 30 inches wide, like this one is, then it calls for what's called a cricket, which is a ridge that sits in the back of your chimney. And that ridge helps water and debris that's coming down this way from piling up here in the middle. Instead, it's encouraged to go around the chimney. Again, it's called a cricket. It's spelled just like the bug. Okay, now we're off the roof, so we're probably done with the roof covering materials, right? Nope. There's one other item, the downspouts. That counts as part of your roof covering materials. So let me show you something that can keep your roof from being written up as deficient. Downspouts are supposed to terminate at least 5 feet from the foundation. The point of these downspouts is to keep water away from your foundation. And what this homeowner has done to keep from being written up is got one of these extenders here and has it going down to a drain. Now you could pull this little extension out even further. This is a temporary one. You could get some actual metal ones too that match your downspout. It'll look a lot nicer. But at least that keeps them from being written up as having a deficient roof. And hey, it keeps water away from the foundation too. These things are cheap. You can get these from the hardware store for a couple of bucks. So it's worth every penny. All right, here's another simple item. The grading of the home, the soil around the outside, ideally should have a 4 to 6 inch gap from the top of the foundation down to the soil. We don't have that here. And that creates a land bridge for the WDI, the wood destroying insects, and other critters, anything really, to go from the outside of your home inside your home. And they don't pay rent, so they gotta go. Okay, speaking of grading, over on the front of this house, we actually can see a good 6 to 8 inches of foundation, so no issues there. Just have to clean it up in the back. Let me show you. This is what it should look like. You can actually see the foundation. Oh, got you, foundation, I got you. And this homeowner was wise enough to trim their bushes off of the side of the house. That's another bridge, just like the trees up on the top of the roof. You don't want your bushes coming in contact. You want this gap right here. Wonderful. Very simple thing to do. While we're out here talking about how to keep your house from being written up, one thing we'd look for is the caulking around the windows. This is what we're talking about here. The caulking around the windows. And it looks like this one is nice and caulked. I bet you that we'll find a spot that isn't on one of these windows here somewhere. But again, that's to keep out all the unwanted folks, the rain, the bugs. You don't want that stuff getting into your walls, causing trouble. The last thing we'll mention when it comes to the outside of the house is something that's really simple that a lot of people don't have, and that's anti-siphon devices. So a backflow preventer, and what I'm talking about is a couple dollar item that you screw onto the end of your hose bib, your spigot, whatever word you want to use. This is what I'm talking about. These things right here. It's your spigot, water comes out of this. Now what the backflow preventer does is it keeps water from going back into the house. This does not have one. It's very easy to buy these and screw them on. Again, it's part of the current building standard, so home inspector's gonna write that up. It's very easy to throw those on to your hose bibs and keep from being written up as having a deficient plumbing system. Isn't that silly? Very easy to do, just a couple bucks. All right, folks, please be careful when you're getting on those roofs. Getting on roofs is serious business. If you're not comfortable getting on a roof, then just don't do it. If you are comfortable getting on a roof, then please use your head. Be smart about it, okay? If it just rained, don't get on the roof. Wait till the next day. You don't want to fall off that roof. But what we learned here today, a lot of simple tips and tricks, very inexpensive ways to keep your home maintained. Even if you're not selling, that's just all around good general maintenance to begin with. And what'd we do? Well, we nailed down those exposed nail heads. That's $0. We got the soil trimmed away from the foundation, 4 to 6 inches. That's $0. You trim the trees, you trim the bushes away from the walls of your home and the roof. $0. Let's see, if you're gonna caulk around the windows, keep the water out, you're gonna caulk on top of those exposed nail heads. Let's say you get 4 tubes of caulk, it's $20. That's totally worth it. Let's say you extend some downspouts off your roof. Maybe you do 4 of them, another $20. Guys, it's $40 to protect your investment of a couple hundreds of thousands for the home that you bought. It's definitely worth it. Plus, if the home inspector's coming to look, you want to keep that list as short as possible. That way it looks better and better to prospective buyers. So, if you guys like what you saw here today, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and that little bell notification down there. We'll shoot you a notification every time we pump out a new video. The next ones will be on the inside of the home. We'll be showing you again new ways that keeping the home inspector at bay. He's gonna come, he's gonna look, and we want to keep that list as short as possible. Deficient! 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 If you'd like to book a home inspection in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, make sure you hop on my website, www.thesmartinspector.com. And when you book an inspection, make sure you submit a fun fact to get a $25 discount because the Smart Inspector likes to get smarter. We'll see you next time on the Smart Inspector. Gotta keep a tennis racket in my tool bag now.
A tennis racket? Why?
To defend myself from birds.